So you want to liquidate that credit card you've got and turn that credit into cash because simply put, you need the money, not the credit. I get it. I've been there. So I'm going to show you several ways on how to do that, plus give you some other good reasons why you'd want to liquidate that credit card right now. All right, so let's talk about some of the ways that you can liquidate that credit card. And I want to start with one of the worst ways first, and that is a cash advance. Please, whatever you do, avoid taking a cash advance at all costs because the fees and the interest rate are so egregious, it's ridiculous. Even if you have a 0% interest rate credit card for 9, 12, 15, 18 months, the minute you do a cash advance, the interest rate on that cash advance is charged the maximum allowable interest rate on that credit card, typically 30% or 29.99% interest. Plus, you're going to be charged a processing fee of 5%, and the interest starts accruing immediately. In fact, don't take my word for it. I'm going to take you to Chase's website and show you exactly how they explain and describe a cash advance on their website. All right, so whatever bank your credit card is issued through, just go to that bank and look up cash advance and check out their terms and conditions on a cash advance. I'm going to take you to Chase Bank's website, and right here it says, what is a cash advance on a credit card and how does it work? And they go into great detail on exactly how you're going to be screwed if you go forward with a cash advance. The amount of money you transfer or withdraw as a cash advance will appear on your credit card statement, and the interest will begin accruing right away. Cash advances typically come with a higher APR than regular purchases, and you may also incur a cash advance fee. Now, how can you get a cash advance? You can do it through your ATM. If you got the PIN for your credit card and you set that up, you can go to your ATM and withdraw cash. Don't do it. You can also get convenience checks from the bank. They may send them to you in the mail and say, hey, here's an easy way to take cash out of your credit card. Do not use them. Do not request convenience checks. It's the same thing as a cash advance. Now, transfer checks are a different story, and those are great, and we're going to talk about those later. You can also go in person and get a cash advance as well. Now, one of the other big things about a cash advance is if you have a $15,000 credit card and you're at a zero balance and you've got $15,000 available to you, the maximum that any credit card typically allows you on a cash advance is between 20 and 30%. Now, that's based on your credit. So in this case, they're given their highest example that you're allowed up to 30% on a cash advance. I know for a fact on mine's 25% on my Chase credit card. So they're giving an example of 30% of the maximum available credit to you. So if you only have $10,000 out of this $15,000 available to you because you've charged $5,000 on it, then it's going to be 30% of $10,000. But if you're at a $0 balance and you've got $15,000 in available credit, 30% of $15,000 is only $4,500. So you wouldn't even be able to liquidate the whole $15,000 on a cash advance. That's another reason why you would not want to try to liquidate your credit card through a cash advance, plus all the fees and interest. And here they go on to describe the fees and the interest one more time. Cash advance is an expensive way to access the cash. I mean, they don't even hide it right here. They're telling you a cash advance is an expensive way to access your cash over and above the actual advance, which you will need to repay. Cash advances come with the following charges. Fees. Cash advance fees can be substantial, where a typical fee is 5% of each cash advance of your request. In addition, you are likely to pay several dollars in ATM fees if you take out a cash advance at the ATM. Cash advance APR, you will typically pay a higher interest rate. They should just say the highest interest rate, because in most instances, it defaults to the maximum allowable interest rate on your credit card, which is probably 29.99% on advances than what your credit card charges for purchases. So you may have a 0% introductory APR and you're thinking, okay, great, I'll just run to the ATM and pull cash out and it'll be 0%. Wrong. It will be the maximum allowable interest rate charged on that credit card if you go to the ATM and pull cash out with your credit card, not your debit card, but your credit card. And unlike purchases, which will allow a grace period before interest begins to accrue, cash advance interest rates interest starts to accrue as soon as the advance is granted. Another reason why you don't want to take out a cash advance. And does it hurt your credit? Well, if it's a personal credit card, yes, it will, because immediately, instead of maybe having 30 days as a grace period or a little bit longer to come up with the money to pay that off before it hits the credit bureaus, immediately it starts reporting that credit utilization on a personal credit card. Business, probably not so much. But these are all reasons why you want to avoid a credit card cash advance. All right, now this next way to liquidate your credit card is pretty creative, and it takes a little legwork on your part, and it's called manufactured spending. So what I mean by manufactured spending is you are going to take your credit card and you're going to go to whatever convenience store, grocery store, CVS, Walgreens, and you're going to go buy several gift cards, or maybe even just one gift card with that credit card. Then you're going to take that gift card and you're going to go somewhere else to another convenience store or grocery store, or CVS or Walgreens, and you're going to say that you want to buy a money order with that gift card. Now, some places won't allow that to happen. They know what's going on and they'll flag you and they won't do it. Other places, you can get away with it. So, it doesn't always work. That's why, it's creative. It requires legwork. You may get stopped here and you got to go here and then here and then here before you can finally get it done. And of course, you do not want to tell the tellers, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. You just want to walk up with your gift card and say, I'd like to buy a money order for $100. Not that, hey, I used my credit card to buy this gift card and I'm trying to use this gift card to buy a money order. Don't do that. The other way you can utilize manufactured spending is to go make a purchase. So you want to do this with a credit card and a debit card. And they both need to be Visa or MasterCard, or whatever you've got, so that when you go to do the return, that they don't see or pay attention to the credit card's number and they just saw it was Visa, and then they just do the refund to the Visa debit card, and that's how you liquidate that credit card. So let's say you go to Sam's or Walmart or Costco and you buy a computer for $2,000 and the total with taxes is $2,200. So you tell the teller, hey, I want to put $2,000 on this credit card and the remaining $200 I want to put on this debit card. And they go, okay, and they ring it up with both of them. Well, you take it home. Next day or a week later, you come back and you say, yeah, my wife bought a computer for our daughter. I didn't realize it. And I bought one as well. So I'm returning this computer, or whatever store you want to give. And then they go to give you a refund. And instead of giving them both credit cards again, the credit card and the debit card, you just give them the Visa debit card. And then they ring back the whole $2,200 on your debit card. And you have just liquidated your credit card to your debit card, which is basically your checking account. Now, some places Some people may pay attention and they may say, nope, I'm sorry, you used two different cards on that. I have to, disperse it back to the two different cards the way you purchased it. Most of the time in today's world, nobody cares. It's a bunch of kids running tellers and they're not paying attention. And so they saw it was Visa, so they run it back on a Visa. That's why you want to have a Visa debit and a Visa credit. That's manufactured spending. All right, so now let's talk about transfer checks. Now, these are awesome. These are totally different than convenience checks, which convenience checks are the same thing as a cash advance. Transfer checks are totally different. Typically, they ride along the same interest rate as your purchase APR or your introductory APR. So if you have a 12, 15, 18 month 0% introductory rate, then with transfer checks, you typically have the same thing. Now, call your bank, make sure that's the case. And you'll also need to call your bank just to see if transfer checks are eligible with your credit card. But call them up, see if you can get transfer checks for your credit card. And if you can, that's awesome, because if you have a $15,000 credit limit and you're at a $0 balance and you've got $15,000 in available credit to you, you could literally write a $15,000 transfer check to yourself, deposit it in the bank, and now you've just liquidated your credit card and you have a 0% interest rate for however long that is left. So transfer checks are awesome. Check it out, contact your bank, see if you can get transfer checks. That's one of the best ways to liquidate your credit card. All right, so now I've gone over one of the worst ways that you can liquidate your credit card. Some okay ways that require a little bit of legwork on your part. Not the most effective way to liquidate your credit cards. And then I gave you transfer checks, which is really a good way to liquidate your credit cards. And I hope that you're doing this all for the right reasons. You don't want to just go out and liquidate your credit cards and then just, be buying expensive purses and buying materialistic things that aren't going to pay those credit cards back. And then you've just racked up debt and now you're going to default on these credit cards. You don't want to do that. The whole purpose of liquidating these credit cards is to allow you to reinvest this money into a strategy or some type of investment that can give you a return on your investment, that can get these credit cards paid back off, and you're utilizing these credit cards for that reason. So now we're going to talk about merchant accounts. So you want to set up a merchant account. This is the best way to liquidate your credit cards. And hopefully you're doing this with business credit cards, by the way, and not just personal credit cards. But if all you're able to do is personal credit cards, you can do this as well with personal credit cards. But you want to try to have a business set up. And if you don't have a business set up by now, you need to have one set up. Very simple. You just, less than $200 with any state. You can create an LLC, pay the license fee or the business fee with the state for the paperwork, and you get an EIN number, and then you just go to any local bank and you set up a business checking account. And those are the things that any bank or credit card company is looking for when you go to apply for these business credit cards. And it's really going to open up a world of financing to you when you get a business set up. And you can have a business set up for anything, the smallest of things. So you got a lawn mowing business, whatever. You can have that business set up, and that's going to enable you to get these business credit cards, business lines of credit, business loans. But if you are stuck right now and you need money and you need cash and you need to liquidate these credit cards in order to reinvest in something that'll make you more money, this is the way to do it. It's a merchant account. Now, one of the ways to do that with a merchant account is the old PayPal play. With PayPal, basically you set up two different PayPal accounts, totally different information. And from one PayPal account, you're going to have that business credit card or your credit card set up in that you're going to pay this other PayPal account. And then this other PayPal account of yours is obviously going to receive cash, and you can go put that back in your checking account. And then there is MELO.com. I want to show you MELO.com because it's just so simple and easy to use as a merchant account. and it's absolutely free. So let's take a look at it right now. All right, so we're on MELO.com. This is MELIO.com, MELIO.com, MELIO.com. I'll have a description in the description below. Obviously, again, you want to use this to your advantage to liquidate that credit card you've got in order to make you more money. And this will enable you to do that. Take advantage of these promotional offers that credit card companies give you to say, hey, we'll give you $500 if you utilize $3,000 in the first 3 months. Well, you wouldn't want to just go out and just make purchases and rack up a credit card to do that. That's of course what they want you to do and get all tied up in debt. But what you would want to do is utilize that credit card to pay bills you normally would have paid, and then you've already got the cash to go ahead and pay that credit card right back off, and then you've got that promotional money. That's a great way to take advantage of a lot of these promotional offers these credit cards offer you, and to liquidate your credit card. So let's get to it. Simplify invoice payments, amplify your cash flow. That's what we're all looking for. When you put your credit card in MELO, you can pay all your bills on your terms. So you can pay your business expenses and invoices online. You can make free ACH bank transfers, or with your credit card, and there's a 2.9% fee as normal with any time you're going to probably try to liquidate your credit card, you're going to have those fees. But if you utilize great strategies like we teach, and that is to take advantage of, again, these bank offers. So if you're going to be getting $500 cash back, if you end up spending $3,000 and you can utilize that on everyday expenses that you normally would, and you've already got the money in your account to pay that off before the end of the month so you don't get charged interest, or you're utilizing a 0% interest credit card for 9, 12, 15, 18 months, then you can really take advantage of these cashback offers that these banks give you. And this 2.9% fee really becomes 1.9 or 0.9. So that is about how to make the payments. The credit cards that you can utilize, which is great, pretty much all of them: American Express, Visa. Now Visa will tell you they have an exception that you cannot use Visa consumer credit cards. You can use MasterCard and Discover. And this is the MELO Dashboard. So easy to use, just a few little clicks here and there. You've got the pay button, you've got the vendor button, get paid button, and then the customer button. So we're going to go to the pay button. Here's your inbox. You're going to see everything that's going on right here. Any messages back and forth, add a bill, choose how to pay, and schedule a delivery date. Your vendor gets paid however they want. So if they want to get paid by a check, you can set it up to get paid by a check, even though you're paying with your credit card. You can see everything that's scheduled here, and you'll see any vendors that have already been paid here. Now you can go to vendors and you can set up new vendors. If you go here, now MELO already has vendors that they have through their network of people sharing other vendors. So if I go in here and I type in handyman services, and it happens to be Handy's Heating, and this is the exact same one that you're looking for, this is somebody else that put that in the system, and MELO is sharing that with you, and you can automatically select it. Now, if they're not, then you would go ahead and keep filling this out, and you would click Add Vendor. You go back here after you add a vendor, and you select Pay, and you go here to select Schedule Payment. Now you can add a bill manually, you can upload a bill, you can even sync with QuickBooks if you are a QuickBooks user, so that's pretty awesome as well. So let's just go here to add a bill manually. Now if we want to go ahead and put our vendor in here again, Handy, let's say it was Handy's Heating, we would just select that, and then we'd scroll down here, we'd add the bill amount, let's say it's $100, we'd hit one time, we'd put our bill number, let's say it's 2001, we'd select the due date, And then we would put any notes to ourselves of what we were paying for. We'd hit save and schedule payment. So let's just put test here for now. And then we're going to select a due date of August 5th, and we're going to save and schedule this payment. All right, Handy's Heating has been added to your contacts. So now we're going to go back here. Oh, before we do that, how do you want to pay Handy's Heating? Then you can select credit card. Again, you're going to have that 2.9% fee if you do that. You can pay by debit card, which is the fastest. There's a 2.9% fee as well. And then you have a bank account. So those are your three options. Bank account is obviously free, but we're here to liquidate that credit card. So most likely you're going to use the credit card option. And then you're going to select credit card, and you're going to put your credit card in here, and you're going to link that. Once you've got it linked, the payment would be scheduled. And then you would go back here to your main dashboard, and you'd see in the inbox, get payments out faster, schedule an ACH transfer before 9 p.m. So your vendor gets paid in 3 business days. Here's Handy's Heating. We're showing that we're getting ready to pay them $100. If we had scheduled that, it would show up in the scheduled, and if they were already paid, it would show up in the paid. Now, let's get back to the inbox. If we want to schedule that payment, we just go over here and schedule it. If we want to cancel this or delete this payment, which we do, we would just simply delete that. I'm going to select yes, delete this bill. And if we were over here and Handy's Heating was a mistake and we didn't want them in, we would go over here to actions and we would delete that contact. And now I have deleted this vendor out of here. And then you'll want to come down here to your settings. Make sure your profile and company settings are the way you want them set up. Check out your email notifications. I've got all mine toggled on because I like to know when money's coming and going at all times. Counting softwares that you can link to, QuickBooks and Xero. I've never heard of Xero, but I think everybody's heard of QuickBooks Online. So if you've got that, that's an easy way to connect and sync with QuickBooks Online. Payment methods, you can add and delete credit card, debit card, and bank accounts here. Check out what's going on with billing. And then they do have support with a chat option. All right, so that was Melio.com. That's just a great merchant option that's available to you out there. So now you know the good, the bad, and the ugly of liquidating your credit cards. I hope you got a lot of great information out of this video. If you did, please leave a comment in the comments below. Plus, check out my descriptions in all my videos below because there's a world of information down there for you. I've got great links to passive income opportunities, to business loan opportunities, to grant opportunities. So always be checking out those description boxes below all my videos. And please, as always, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on all my videos. It just helps the algorithms. It helps these videos get out to people that need this information. Well, that's it for now, and I'll catch you on the next one.